Welcome to Long Story Short. I'm Kijan Haynes. Let's get the week started. So we promised you last week that we'd keep an eye on the Parliament, so you don't have to. After 3 long days of budget debate where 41 MPs and some ministers from the Senate presented, I wish I went into any other line of work. A budget debate. It's one of the few times in Parliament where you can talk about anything and not be called up on a standing order for relevance to the bill, because there really is no bill. It's all relevant. But in a budget debate, especially in a budget debate right after the election, you get some of the best political pick-on. So let's start the week off on a light note with a game that we will call Quality Rabs, Not Quality Rabs. We start up with Barataria Sawa MP Saddam Hussein.
After they shut down the NOC, they come 5 years later, change the name of the center from the National Operations Center to the National Operations Fusion Center and call that an achievement. Changing your name is not an achievement. The Attorney General should know that.
Okay, Quality Rabs. If I have to explain why, the joke's not funny. It's because Faris isn't his real name. Fitzgerald Hines, you're up.
Madam Speaker, the member for Chaguanas East, she told us that we scraped our way into government with 22 seats. That, coming from the member for Chaguanas East, can only be described as a naked untruth, Madam Speaker. We, Madam Speaker, we won a resounding victory in the elections, and we have a mandate of the people of Trinidad and Tobago to execute that mandate. In fact, as I move on, if there's any scraping, you might find it on the desk on Charles Street, where someone is holding on to the desk, don't want to let go, and there are nail prints and marks along the desk.
Timely, nice use of visuals, a little wordy, we'll allow it. Quality Rabs. Barry Padarath, what say you?
Response to the member for Laventille West. We only hope that the Prime Minister would not have to scrape him out of the waterfront once more, and he will turn up for work, as the young people will be depending on him and this ministry.
Extreme quality. If you don't get it, well, look at this, because I'm not sure how many people remember this from 2016.
In tonight's Say What, it turns out even a government minister was squatting.
Last week, I had to order a minister out of one of them back to his ministry, because I didn't know for the last 6 months that the minister was not in the ministry. The minister was down on the waterfront. Because in the last government, all ministers were down at the waterfront. But under this government, they will leave the waterfront.
Well, we're told it was Minister Fitzgerald Hines. The former Ministry of Transport was in the waterfront. But now that the Works and Transport are back together under one ministry, the offices are on Richmond Street.
And after that wonderful diversion, Barry Padarath, I hear you have a second one.
In using a bit of young people language and terminology, there's now a social media platform called TikTok. And TikTok essentially reminded me a lot of what the member for Laventille West had to say. A good song and dance, but a complete facade. A good song and dance, but actually no results. No tangible, measurable deliverables in terms of how it's going to impact on the quality of lives of young people in this country.
Not Quality Rabs. I'm less impressed. See, because TikTok has really become much more than a song and dance. It really is becoming a platform for expression and social justice for Gen Z. And you want to talk about getting results? The letter of the day dude is now doing commercials. For example, all right, Camille Robinson Regis, you're up.
Madam Speaker, while we were led to believe that baggage handlers were only employed at the airports, recent revelations in the national media have also indicated why it was necessary for another member to always be so strident in his defense of the member for Cyperia.
Not Quality Rabs. I really grow tired of the PNM and Camille in particular. You know, portraying Barry as nothing more than Kamla Prasad-Bissessa's bag handler. One, he really has grown into a decent parliamentarian. And two, he gives you so much more material. Like, he's always getting kicked out of the parliament, and he ran away from the country in the height of the pandemic. Come on, guys. Let's do better. Member of Orapooch East, Dr. Rudal Munilal, your turn.
So, Madam Speaker, while they were boasting about WASA doing a good job, and the works doing a good job, I think a road collapsed in Aruka. While the member for Point Fortin was on his legs, poor fellow, a market blower in Point Fortin. So, I think we should end the debate quickly to prevent further disaster. This is the state of Trinidad and Tobago today. It is the state of Trinidad and Tobago today.
All right. Quality, light-hearted fun. He's come a long way from this.
But I want to tell the people of Trinidad and Tobago.
Shut your stink mouth.
I'm sorry, I just heard
Madam Speaker, I protest.
And finally, Mr. Prime Minister, your turn.
Madam Speaker, having said that, I will just want to caution the youngsters on both sides that you need to get your rhythm first before you bowl to good batsmen, otherwise you'll be hit all over the place. Don't just come in here and start to repeat what you've heard your failed seniors do or say. Take a good look. Take a good look. Listen a while. Read a lot. And in time you may become effective as a good member of parliament.
All right. Quality rabs. Condescending, yes, but accurate. Harsh truths. Oh, actually, I'm being told the Prime Minister was not done.
Let's accept that, okay, that's how she labeled us. The country collapsed before COVID. And PNM means promise never materialized. Sound great. But those are old news, old things. The new one is the label for the opposition leader's responses are not moving. Billboard or no billboard and KFC are not moving. So all of the responses were geared not to dealing with the budget, but it was geared with the UNC internal election. Bedfellows in defense of holding their position in the party. This is not party business. This budget is the national business of the people of Trinidad and Tobago.
Ooh, he went for the throat with that one. What do we say? All right, quality. So the Prime Minister touched on the lack of experience in the lower house right now. Now remember, there are a lot of new faces on both sides. And it's not that the new MPs' contributions were bad, it's just that they could have been much better. The opposition bench is really green, so much so that you saw them in the Standing Finance Committee tripping all over themselves.
Of $229 million in this line item. Can you explain the increase, please?
All right. So member for Paratara Salmon, I understand your question, but if you notice, we will have each of these sub-items, and maybe you could ask your question as it relates to the sub-item.
To the sub-item, yeah.
So, okay? So I don't know in terms of if your question applies to 00109 where we are at.
So I'm at 005 also, Madam Chair, non-profit institutions.
We're not there yet, please.
And then, seeing that her MPs were struggling, the opposition leader stepped in and, well, watch.
What metrics, if any, are used to assess the performance of this program? External?
We do a quality assurance test on them. We do audits of the health facilities that we send them out to.
May I ask who is the we?
At the ministry, we have an audit department.
Okay. How is value for money ensured under this program?
Through the audit department.
Through the audit. And when was the last audit done?
2019.
2019 fiscal or 2019?
I will get that for you.
Can we provide with a copy of that last audit report?
All right. Look, it's still early in the parliamentary term and everyone will get their footing, but maybe the opposition leader should spend less time on having her MPs rehearse catchphrases and maybe school them a little bit more on the finer points of parliamentary practice. Look, coming from a broadcast journalist, it may seem hypocritical to say the soundbite society is killing us, especially on a show called Long Story Short, and following a segment where I went through 36 hours of debate to just find 10 seconds of jokes. Hey, self-awareness is key. But as the world becomes more complicated, we really shouldn't be running from complex issues, but we should be trying to understand them. I know it's easier to say sunlight will kill COVID as opposed to
those rays of light that would be involved with the activation and utilization of vitamin D. And we know that low levels of vitamin D affect immunity, and they have found that persons with lower levels are more likely to develop some of the life-threatening, potentially fatal complications of COVID-19.
Yeah, so getting it right takes time. Take the time. You know, they say human attention is the most scarce resource of the 21st century. And for that, I'm proud of you for even making it this far into this segment. We take a break.